All right, guys, how's it going? So this is video number two in the series of the my own personal uh, my personal kind of like fascination with Native American culture, and it all kind of began in school, I guess. Let me go sit down at the computer, which first I'll put the camera on me. First, I'll put the camera on me. And my fascination with Native American cultures kind of began like in school, I suppose. But I never really did anything about it. I didn't do like my own research until much later, till I was 18. And then I just kind of was looking for, I don't know, information on different tribes. There's loads of information, of course, all over the internet, like mainly related to like history books, like textbooks, history books, not museums, but like place where they archive information about like you know, well, just history in general. But for me, it really started on YouTube when I found David Little Elk's channel. And David Little Elk is a YouTuber. He's a musician. I think he's a teacher. He lives in Germany now. He used to live on the I forget which reservation it is. I should know. It's the Lakota Sioux Tribe Reservation. I don't know if I'm saying that right or if that is correct, but um, he lived on a reservation, I think, near Pine Ridge or something like that. Or I think his dad lived on Pine Ridge and his mom lived on the Lakota Sioux Tribe Reservation or something. But I'm not going to get too into his personal story. I just wanted to review his YouTube channel as far as his videos go. So yeah, I'm gonna turn the camera around. I'm gonna put it on the computer and put it on the computer, and we're gonna scroll through his stuff. I already reviewed some songs by him, and now we're gonna go to his first video. Reality begins within.
I'm a therapist who goes to therapy, and some people think that's strange. The thing is, though, therapists are human beings just like.
This show is founded upon Lakota Star Knowledge concepts, and in learning these concepts, you have to begin with the basic one, which is reality begins within. And this is how the universe and all universes were created. Yeah. So when you're looking at your life and your reality, to influence that so that it's healthy and that you're able to um, enjoy your life as well as learn from experiences in your life, the best foundation to have is to go within yourself and establish peace in your life. And this requires taking care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally.
So he talks about that a lot. He talks about the four parts of the self, which let's see if you can see on here. Yeah, you can see. You can see that medicine wheel right here with the eagle feathers. I think the yellow part represent. I think the black part represents the mind. The white part represents the soul. The yellow part represents the emotions, and the red part represents the body. I think I might be getting that wrong, but he talks a lot about the four parts of the self, and he'll mention body, mind, emotions, and soul. He'll mention that. He'll mention those things a lot throughout his videos.
Because those four parts are connected to each other. And where they connect is deep inside of you. And this is your sacred center. There, in your sacred center, is no culture. There is no uh, language. There's no race or anything like that. This is your sacred area. And sacredness does not have skin color or race.
So he talks about where they all connect, which is the sacred center. And I've always I've always been curious about that. Whenever, like, when I first heard that concept, like, that was a long time ago. I heard that concept. It's 2024 now. And I heard that concept back in, this video was posted 6 years ago. So, yeah, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, the Sacred Center, that must be where people go when they take DMT or when they take psychedelics. Like, that must be where people end up on like, mainly, like, I'm talking about ayahuasca and DMT, like how you're just blasted into this place of geometric patterns and meaning and nuance and all this stuff. Like, that must be where people are led on certain types of drugs. But I that was my first that was the first thing that popped into my mind when I heard about the Sacred Center, because like there, people do describe on ayahuasca, they describe that there's this space or there's this place that they go to where it's kind of like a room or like a room of hallways, and it's very sacred, it's very special, and there's just like complete like oneness with everything there. So that might be what it is, but that might just be a hallucination that people are having. I don't really know. Anyways, let's continue.
Okay? Everything has this in its natural creation state. Okay? And this is where there's some sacred pieces inside of you that are also dwelling in your sacred center. So one of them comes from the earth. Yeah? So when you're living this healthy way, you're really in tune with the earth. Yeah? And this is vital because we need the earth. Yeah? We need her for everything. The air that we breathe, the food that we eat, the water that we drink, all these things, the warmth from the sun.
I'm just gonna check the time on the video really quick. Looks like we got 7 minutes, so we're gonna go to about 20 minutes.
All of this is like related. Yeah, it's all connected, and you know this is so important. So when we're living this way, we're nurturing our connection in all of this, and we're playing a role in which we are communicating healthy to one another, and everything inside is being nurtured too. Yeah, everything inside of us is being nurtured.
So yeah, when he talks about the 4 parts of the self being nurtured, most people would think like, even me, like I would think like, oh, you're talking about mental health, you're talking about like working your body out, like making sure your body's in shape, you want to do things that you enjoy so that you're emotionally healthy, and you want to do a lot of work on yourself so you're also spiritual. But like, I have a lot of questions for David, because like, I've been listening to his channel for now 6 years, and I've never once been in contact with him. Like, some of my comments on his YouTube channel have like, he puts a heart on them, or like he put like he commented something like, oh, thank you, or something like that. But I've never really been in contact with him either through email or anything about like what his show means, like what do certain things mean, like all these questions. But I guess like he only has so much time for questions, because like, he's got a very involved life. So for me, the channel, when I first started listening to it, was like informing me on how to be a more spiritual person. But nowadays, like 6 years later, it's just kind of a video that I'll listen to kind of I don't know, take my mind off of things that I'm worried about, or like I'll listen to a specific video in order to like laugh, or I'll listen to his music to like feel better. But yeah, it's kind of like that nowadays. Like I treat his channel the same way I would treat a music playlist, or like watching watching a video on Netflix. Like, it's just kind of something to enjoy and pass the time. Like, I don't take it like too seriously anymore. And I think that's the problem with the internet, is like so many people can connect to you, but you don't necessarily have enough time in your day to really connect with everybody who's listening to your channel. That's the problem with YouTube. Um, and the problem with YouTube is that you can you can post a lot of information, but unless you're really talking to people directly, like it's gonna be hard to like help them like change their life and whatnot. But anyways, let's just continue the video.
When we live this way, we're nurturing all the connections inside of us, everything. Yeah, our bodies, our minds, our emotions, our soul. We're nurturing all that connection, and then all the parts that makes those parts up too. We're nurturing all of that. Like your physical body, you have so many components in your physical body. Yeah, we're nurturing those connections, and even each of those parts are consisted of things, and we're nurturing all of that too as we live this healthy way. Yeah, and this is the road to life. Yeah, and one of the things that is interesting in life on this planet is that most plants bleed red. All animals and humans bleed red. And so red represents life.
Check the time again. 11 minutes. Okay, we got time. We got about 9 minutes. Let me pick that off.
So when you hear the term, the red road, this is talking about the road to life. Red does not represent Indians. In our medicine wheel, there's 4 colors in there, beginning with black, then white, then yellow, then red. So, when we're living this healthy way, this is we're walking that road of life, which is the red road. Okay. Now, those 4 colors in the medicine wheel, they just represent directions, and they may represent other things too, but they do not represent skin color. Let me say it like this. The only yellow-skinned people I've ever seen in my life are people who have hepatitis or some kind of disease involving, the kidney failing or something like that, and the Simpsons. Those are the only yellow-skinned people I've ever seen. Living in the city of Berlin, this is a world city. It's a cosmopolitan city. And when I first moved here, I had to learn German, and in my German language class, there were people from Korea, Japan, Taiwan.
So he moved to Germany, I guess, a while back. And I don't know. I'm not sure how this video is going to go. I'm not sure if I'm going to be commenting on the video or if I'm just going to be commenting on my general knowledge about his channel, or like I'm not really sure how this reaction video is supposed to happen. I have the urge to skip forward to different parts in the video and just talk about the things that I know the most about, or like the things that I've listened to before. So far I've just played the video from start just all the way through, and it's 5 minutes into the video. To me, there are certain topics that he talks about, like his oral tradition stories, that are like super fun to listen to. And then there's stuff that where he just kind of talks about different things in general. This is like Reality Begins Within. This is one of those videos where he just kind of talks about everything. He talks about his personal life. He talks about spirituality. He talks about moving to Germany. He talks about like a bunch of different stuff. As you can tell in the first 5 minutes, there's already like a bunch of information in there. So I'm not going to make it my job to like pick it apart and like break it down into steps for you to understand. I think like most people can understand his videos if you just like watch them all the way through. And if you try to watch the majority of them, like you kind of get the gist of things. But there is a concept in his videos. I don't know if he'll get to it in here, but certainly he talks about it when he also talks about duality. So perhaps I'll find a video. Perhaps in the next video on the series, we'll go to a video where he talks about duality, and he talks about, yeah. Anyways, he talks about duality because I love that topic for sure. But let's see how much time we have. 15 minutes. All right. Well, for the last 5 minutes of this video, we're just gonna be listening to his to this video.
There was another girl too from where was she from? Malaysia, I think she was from. These are all Asian girls, and when you look at them sitting together, none of them were yellow.
That's an
and
ad.
we're back.
This is an
The
ad.
team is looking down the barrel of a 4:55 meeting.
That's an ad.
Not one of them were yellow. Yellow does not represent Asian peoples. If you really think about it, there's a part of Indian, what constitutes us Indians today, a part of that is Asian. That's a bona fide fact. Yeah, we're not completely from Asia, but we're a mixture, and some tribes have it more than others. So when you look at some tribes, like from the southwest down to the western areas of South America and the Central America, stay on the west side, and you see a lot of Asian influence there. And they really have narrow eyes, and there's short people and so forth. Yeah, but other parts of the North American continent are not like that. So not all Indians have that, but a lot of us do. Okay, and so if you want to say that yellow represents the Asians, that's going to include some Indians. So be careful about that. Yeah, so that's a city modern thinking that is using that medicine wheel to represent races of people. Because that concept doesn't even come from Indians at all. That comes from Western society. You hear songs like, what's that one called? It's a children's Christian song, Jesus Loves. How does that go? Jesus loves the little children, all the little children of the world, red, yellow, black, and white, all that precious in his sight. Yeah, I still remember that. See, things like that, that's not coming from the Indian world. That's obviously coming from the Western world. So Indians who are saying that the four colors represent the four races, they're being influenced by the Western world. That's not traditional knowledge at all. Lakota Star knowledge does not say anything about color.
So Lakota Star knowledge. So he'll mention that too. Hello?
Yeah. Oh, are you talking to someone?
No, I'm making a video.
Hey, Cameron. Hey, what? Sorry, can I just grab something?
Yeah.
Hey, you home? Oh. What's going on here? No. Did you have the box with?
That one's broken.
It don't work?
It don't work.
Oh, how'd that happen?
Margaret broke it.
Motherfucker. You better be home?
What happened to you?
Dude, I hit calves and I just fucked up my calves, bro.
Oh, okay.
Like, they're actually like nuts right now. Alright, well, hey, call me when you're home, okay, sweetie?
We'll get back to this video in just a second.
What's the video about?
It's about I'm reacting to a channel.
Oh, what's the channel?
David Little Oak. Yeah.
1 second, we take a piss.
See what this video is at. Okay, so this video is Let me just come over here. So this video is 19 minutes long. I'm gonna stop now. It's 20 minutes. I'm gonna stop the video here, and we'll continue where we left off. We'll do a little bit of that video. Reality Begins Within. We'll do a little bit reacting to that, but then I think we're gonna skip forward a couple videos in his in chronological order on his channel. We're gonna skip forward a couple videos to a video about something called duality, which is like one of my favorite topics on his channel. So yeah. Hitting calves makes you weak. All right, guys, so we're beginning where we left off at Reality Begins Within, the very first internet radio talk show on his channel. Or it's the very first video on his channel, and it's posted about 6 years ago. So I'm just going to turn the camera towards me, and we're going to continue where we left off, which is at 7 minutes and 45 seconds. Actually, I'll skip back a little bit. 5 seconds, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
Children's Christian
Should be
song,
good enough.
Jesus loves. How does that go? Jesus loves the little children, all the little children of the world, red, yellow, black, and white, all are precious in his sight. Yeah, I still remember that. See, things like that, that's not coming from the Indian world. That's obviously coming from the Western world. So Indians who are saying that the four colors represent the four races, they're being influenced by the Western world. That's not.
David Little Elk will talk a lot on the channel about how modern Indians have been Christianized for several generations, kind of since Christianity came to America. Different tribes have been, or maybe all the tribes, but certainly the tribes that he talks about were brainwashed by Christianity to become Christians. And so a lot of the Lakota star knowledge, what do you call it? You call it the star knowledge. A lot of the star knowledge got twisted into Christianity's concepts, or like Christianity kind of twisted the concepts and kind of reworded them so that people would think about them in a more Christian way instead of the original way that they're meant to be talked about and perceived and stuff like that. So and he'll talk about anyways, I don't know if you caught it, but he said like that a lot of Indians are I'd feel a lot more comfortable if this camera was not on me. So I'm gonna move it this way. But let's rewind a little bit.
I still remember that. See, things like that, that's not coming from the Indian world. That's obviously coming from the Western world. So Indians who are saying that the four colors represent the four races, they're being influenced by the Western world.
So you caught that. He said Indians who are saying that the four colors of the medicine wheel represent the four different races of people on the earth, that they're being influenced by Western thinking, and so which is incorrect, which is an incorrect way of thinking. So he'll talk a lot about how modern Native Americans, I don't even know how to say that. Modern Native Americans, just people who are of Native American descent nowadays, have a lot of incorrect information, and they say a lot of things that are not correct about their own culture. Like basically they don't know their own culture as well as they think they do, or they just don't know it at all. Well, I'm not really one to judge, but at least that's what David Little Oak will say. I just wanted to point it out.
It's not traditional knowledge at all. Lakota star knowledge does not say anything about skin color, because the reason why is because it's not important. What's important is inside. That's why I'm talking about this. Reality begins within. Yeah. So again, medicine wheel, the 4 colors do not represent races. They represent other things, but not skin color. Lakota Star Knowledge teaches that when humans appear on the earth, they appear in 5 areas, and at that time there's only one continent. In time, these 5 groups begin to intermingle with each other, and it shows that all babies speak the same language all over the world. And as they start to organize into communities and they start to, spread out on the land, some of them move, southwardly, some of them move more to the north. And those that live in locations that are closer to the sun, their skin gets darker. Those that move more to areas that are away from the sun, their skin got lighter. And eye colors changed and hair textures changed. To see the people's bodies had to adapt to the environment that they're living in. And part of that adaptation process involved the development of skin color. I mean, even in the Indian world, you look at the Indians from the Southwest and Mexico.
Anyways, we'll stop the video there. Not this entire video, but actually, let me film. Going on to another. We're gonna skip to another video. Gonna go to the oldest videos on his channel, and let's see. Reality Begins Within. So that's pretty much the first video on his channel of that kind of nature of video. Actually, not really. There's one up here, Lakota Spiritual Concepts. I guess I missed that one, which I guess we can go to that one actually. Either that one, or I kind of want to get to one where he talks about duality. Okay, this one. Let's go to this one. Linear thinking equals duality equals not cool. So we're gonna get into that. This is like literally my favorite concept on his channel.
Thinking is when you think everything goes in only one direction, and that the further you go on that path, you think you're getting better, and that everybody behind you is not as good as you. That's the tendency in linear thinking. It is very rare where a person who's way up ahead will turn around and say, "Here, come, I'll help you." You do see that, but there's something. They're in another process. Yeah, they are in another process, and they're on the hinge of switching to becoming a non-linear thinker. That's why they're like that. Yeah, but basic gung-ho linear thinkers, they think like the further they're on the path, better they are. Anybody behind them is less than them. They're not good enough. They're not as good as them. That's the general thought. And that creates a duality. Yeah, a duality is when you look at everything in life and you only see 2 perspectives, yours and that which you don't like, that which you disagree with. And your tendency is to label that as bad and that you're the good one. That's the foundation of duality. Along with this process, people focus only on one emotion. And then they become...
Okay, so this is... I'll play the video so that David can explain the emotional process that goes on in linear thinking, in dualistic thinking. Basically what happens to your emotions when you it's linear thinking and duality. It's not the same thing as like a negative thought loop or something that you're stuck in. It's more of like a choice that you make every single day when you get up. to you don't really realize it, but you're becoming more closed-minded and you're becoming less um you're every day that you choose to think in a linear way is you're not making progress. I mean, you do make some progress, but you're not making as much progress as you would think. Okay.
Would you be able to collect marbles, do you think?
Oh yeah.
Would that be okay?
Yeah, what about JD?
Oh, I could ask him.
Yeah, could JD pick her up?
Because you're talking to somebody, are you?
No, I'm just making a video.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. So he's about to explain, David is about to explain the emotional process that goes on during linear thinking.
I'm addicted to it to the point where they'll do it because it's the foundation of duality. Along with this process, people focus only on one emotion, and then they become addicted to it to the point where they'll do anything to maintain that emotion, whatever it is. Yeah, they become an addict to it. And they call the other emotions bad emotions. Stay away from those. I don't want to do anything to even feel that other emotion. Yeah, they don't want to think of bad things in their life that happened that brought those emotions. They try to suppress them, thinking it's going to go away, but it doesn't. The body keeps all.
So he's talking about what we would call repressed emotions. So yeah, but I think if you caught all of that, he talks about being addicted to one emotion. And that emotion can either be happiness or sadness, or it could be a lot of things. There's a lot of emotions. So, but mainly being addicted to the positive ones. That's what I'm guessing that's one of the questions I kind of have for him is like, when you talk about people being addicted to an emotion, is it a positive emotion? Like people are addicted to happiness. They always want to be happy. But he says that's not always the case. Sometimes people are addicted to sadness or anger, or they're addicted to something that just makes them feel. I mean, in the end, that emotion has to make you feel good in some way, right? Even if it is sadness or anger, it has to make you feel something that you want to keep on feeling. So anyways, I have a lot of questions concerning this, but as far as I know, it starts with linear thinking, and then you become dualistic, and then you become addicted to an emotion, and then you kind of become closed-minded, and that's kind of how the process goes. But I'm gonna try to listen to the majority of this video so you get most of the information.
All that energy until you release it. And you release it by facing it, learning from it, making the most of it. That's how you transform it into a learning experience. Then it becomes a blessing because you receive knowledge, wisdom, and peace. You're at peace with it. So you can think on it anytime and it doesn't bother you. Yeah, that's how that works. So, non-linear thinking is, yes, things do go forward, but we can also go backwards.
So what is this video at? It is at 13 minutes. We got about 6 minutes left.
There's nothing wrong with that. For example, after you come to peace with your past, you're walking a healthy road, and as you walk on this healthy road, you slowly are able to comprehend more and more of reality. Now, this does not mean you're better. It just means you can comprehend more. Okay? It doesn't mean you're better. It just means you can comprehend more. Okay? So, in time, it's good to look back in your past again to things you've already learned, and you will see something new, because now you can comprehend more of that experience. When you first had that experience, you couldn't see everything, but now you can see more, which means you're going to learn something new. Yeah? Then you come back to the present moment with that knowledge to help yourself and others. You share. Yeah? That is one possibility.
I always think of myself as someone who, like the very person he's talking about, the very thing he's talking about, like someone who faces their past, whatever that means, whatever you have to do in order to do that. You face your past, you feel the emotions, and you experience the things that happened in your past, whether it's emotions or psychological states or things in between dream states, like in between waking up and or in between being asleep and waking up, like wherever in your day you have to experience those things, those phenomenon, whatever, you kind of end up going through them, and they end up like varying in intensity. And then once you get past all of it, you can look back on it and it doesn't bother you because you know that it's not going to crop up again. It's not going to pop up again at some random point. So, so I always like to think of myself as someone who has done that. I don't know if I actually have done that or if I'm just imagining things, but I always like to put myself in the shoes of the person who's being responsible. The person that David Little Elk is describing, or the things that he's describing. Like, I always like to think of myself as that kind of a person. Like, yes, I'm not a dualistic thinker. I am a nonlinear thinker. I like to put myself in that position. I don't know if I am that way. I'm not one of his students, so I don't really know how much of this information I can really apply to my own life without taking his classes and knowing him personally. I don't really know how much of it I can implement, but it makes me good to think of myself in a certain way when I listen to these videos. I always think of the person that he's describing. I always think of it like in the first person, if you kind of understand what I mean.
You come back to the present moment because, see, when you come to peace with your past, your tendency is to stay in the present moment. That's a natural thing. And that's good because, I should say that's healthy, because the present thought patterns are what create the future. So it's always changing, yeah, because your thoughts are changing. So it's always going to change. But you still have an influence over it. You still have a power over your future. Even though it may alter day by day, you still are influencing it. That's beautiful. So that's one of the benefits of learning from the past. Yeah? Then you can also visualize what you would like your future to be like. And then you take some time in private and act like you're already there.
Love that. I love that concept. Taking some time in private to imagine a future that you want, and you just spend a couple minutes, imagining that you're, in a new city or a new job, or you're with a group of people who you found online, or some group, some business that you want to be a part of, and then you stop. You kind of let the visualization kind of ride out for a little bit, almost like a dream or a guided meditation, and then you kind of come back to the present and you go back to whatever you're doing. You make dinner, you go out and buy groceries, you take care of your dogs, you go on a walk, like whatever. You just kind of go back to your daily routine. And I love doing that. In fact, I probably do that too much to the point where it's unhealthy, but I do end up like doing that a lot. So yeah.
And you're enjoying it. Yeah. And it puts a smile on your face. You feel
We got
good.
1 minute
These
left.
are real emotions. Enjoy them. That process is putting something inside of you that's going to give you inspiration. Then you come back to the present moment again. Now you have something to help you to receive inspiration, to get things done. And it's going to have an influence on your real future. And it will turn out better than you think. So you're learning from the future to help you in the present moment. See, this is nonlinear thinking, nonlinear living, nonlinear learning. This is why we have no word for goodbye in Lakota language, because everything is circular. Yeah? What's really important is...
So I'm going to end the video here. Let me just stand up going here. I'm trying to make all of these videos 20 minutes long. So they're small and they're digestible. So you can go through them, you can enjoy them, but you don't have to stay for a full 45 minutes or whatever. Plus, it gives me time to kind of take a little mental break and to watch my videos and see if there's anything that I need to adjust before my next video. I like watching my videos before I post them, so I can kind of help myself out in a way. But anyways, the video is 20 minutes long here. It's going on 21 minutes. I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to make another part. We're going to try to get through all of this video that I'm focusing on, which is the concepts of nonlinear thinking and the concepts of linear thinking. So I'm going to try to get through that whole video, and then I'm going to go on to some of his oral tradition kind of stuff, which I find super interesting. Not just interesting, but really entertaining and really interesting, those concepts. So yeah, anyways, catch you in the next video.